a good greeting to you, dear viewer. This video is a bit different than my regular video. This is a tutorial-aimed video. It's not really a silly video like I normally do, but today I'm going to be walking you through how to do a cinematic look to your footage. So I have my footage in media pool here. So I'm just going to be sticking with this one frame here. And so the first thing we want to do is we're going to add a LUT to this. So I'm going to go over to here. This is my color page. I'm going to go to this node here, and I'm going to add a LUT. So I'm going to go to the film. Where is it? Film looks. I'm going to go the Kodak Rec 709 2383 D16. This one looks really nice. It's very contrasty, very colorful, nice. So already we have a more cinematic look than what we would typically get from like iPhone footage, as this was shot like on an iPhone. We're going to add a vignette to the footage. We're going to go to the Fusion page, fill load, and then we're going to create a new node, and then we're going to search vignette. Add that in. So I have a very dark and intense vignette here, so that's maybe not what we want. That's very intense, I think. So first thing we can do is we can adjust the size to whatever your liking may be. I like a more subtle vignette. I mean, size is the main one you're going to be doing. If you want to change the color of your vignette, you can do that, but this just adds a nice little kind of highlight. It highlights the middle of the footage and gives, like, a center view. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some halation. This is an effect that I'm a really big fan of. And it's basically just a highlight at the edge of like light sources. So how we're going to do this is we're going to add a new serial node, set the composite mode to, where is it, screen. It'll brighten the image a bit. Next we want to go to the blur page, go to radius here, and you want to increase that as much as you can. Like literally until you can't anymore. There we go. Now you want to go to your gain, and you want to make that radius a nice warm kind of orangey red, very halation-y. So, like sort of like this kind of color is what you're looking for around like this area. And then you want to go to your curves, and you want to play around with this until you get the correct amount of halation that you want. So I'm going to do just pretty subtle halation, a nice red kind of glow around everything. That looks pretty good to me. Next, what we want to do is we want to add some grain to our footage. So I'm going to go to the Fusion page, and I'm going to create a new node with shift space yet again. Then I'm going to go to film grain. This is the final step, by the way. So I'm going to add that, and I'll add a lot of grain, and so you can leave it like this if you'd like, but if you want, you can change the complexity, size, if you want really fine, if you want to really not fine, really, I guess, thick grain, but then you can have a lot more of a fine, kind of less noticeable grain. That's kind of around where I like to keep it. You can kind of mess with all of these settings a little bit. Some roughness, just kind of really play with it, give it your own spin, your own feel. And my editor is unfortunately very laggy, so then you get a soft grain. And so there you have it. That's a very cinematic look you can get with DaVinci Resolve. As you can see, it looks sort of more filmy. It looks more like film. And in general, personally, I prefer this look over just the default iPhone look. So now you could, of course, substitute this grain with, an overlay, but I like to just do the built-in DaVinci Resolve. It's a lot more easy to use, and you don't have to use any clunky overlays. And here you have your finished look. Down in the comments, tell me what you might want to improve on, what you might not have liked about this look. And just give some of your thoughts, because I'm very open to some good feedback. But thank you for watching. If you want, like and subscribe. Bye.